Hello everybody, this is MKWii and welcome back to another Mario Kart Wii tutorial. This time, we're going to be doing the mission mode tutorial. Yes, I know you guys have been waiting for this. I know. Since mission mode was discovered by Mr. Bean, I wanted to figure out how to do it, and I've recently figured out how to do it. Big shoutouts to the people on screen right now. Without these people, this whole thing wouldn't actually be possible. Big shoutouts to all these people. So, to begin, this tutorial assumes that you already have a homebrew channel, a Revolution channel, because Revolution channel is the program or the Wii channel used to make this work. CTGP channel does not work. If you want to know how to install Revolution, then the link will be in the description to this website, which will teach you what Revolution is and how to install it. So we also assume that you have a Mario Kart Wii extracted, link in the description as well. How to obtain original custom track files or the Mario Kart Wii files by yourself. So I already have that here. Here it is. So this is my extracted Mario Kart Wii files that you're going to be needing for this tutorial. Also, you're going to be needing is big thanks to SpyKids. SpyKids mission mode pack. We're going to be pretty much taking this one and changing it. So in the missions tutorial folder, I'm going to be copying SpyKids missions there, and there they are. Here is the folder I'm going to be using pretty much for the final result, the missions tutorial folder on my desktop. So what we also need is the KMT modifier, link in the description. I'm going to be taking that one and pasting it here. There it is. Also the MUIS modifier, same thing. A link in the description. I think these are made by the same people, so that's a big thanks to them. I already put the names on the beginning, so shout outs to them. So in the tutorial folder here, this is what you'll be seeing. The Revolution folder, which we'll be editing later on, and we're gonna have the missions folder, which is the main thing you're gonna be looking at. So in this folder exists some pre-made missions from 1 to 8, 0 through 7, because these are 0 based. So this will be mission 1-1, mission 1-2, 1-3, 1-4, 1-5. The naming doesn't matter right now. We'll be going back into that later. So we're going to be making one of these SZS files on our own and making a mission from that. So the first thing you want to do is get an original track or a custom track from the internet. So this is where you go into your extracted Mario Kart Wii files, race, course, whatever, and here we take one of the tracks. So for example, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to take beginner course, which is Luigi's Circuit, and I'm going to be pasting that in here. We know we're going to be making this mission mission number 1, so we're going to name this, we're going to rename this file MR00. Yay for Windows. I don't usually use Windows Explorer, but mission run 00. Now you can name this whatever, but it has to be MR and then 2 numbers, so you can have up to 99. You can't even have more than but then in the menu. But for now, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to count them from 00 up. So 00 will be mission 1-1. So there's our Luigi Circuit. Now the next thing you want to do is open up Luigi Circuit, and actually we also want to open up, let's go back to the desktop. I also want to open up the KMT program beta. This is the program that allows you to choose pretty much what mission you're going to make. So we're going to first of all open up a file. That file is going to be on the desktop, missions tutorial, missions, and then the KMT file. You saw that before. We have it here. This KMT file, this pretty much has a lot of the information about each and every single one of the missions. So we're gonna wait a moment for that. Sometimes the message doesn't show up. Just go into the taskbar and go here and it'll say load successful. Okay, so here it is. These are the pre-made ones by SpyKid, and we're gonna be editing 1-1. So there's a bunch of modes. If you haven't seen Mr. Bean's video on the mission mode yet, then I'll highly recommend you check that out. Link in the description or in the top right, whatever. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but here are all the mission modes, and there's a bit of a description. So mini turbos, release mini turbos to score points. Versus mode complete 3 laps before the time runs out. This one is the same. There's no difference between them. Drift, which is faulty, awards points until or awards points while drifting. Item boxes is break item boxes to score points. Enemies is hit enemies to score points. Boss is attack a boss to score points. Unknown is unknown. We have no idea what that is. Coins is gather coins to score points. Gates is drive through gates to score points. Boost start, you need to get a boost start, and then the mission ends, and if you don't get a boost start, you lose. So, I don't know. Hit CPUs with projectiles, wheelies, which is faulty, gives you way too many points, and slipstreams. However, whenever CPUs slipstream, the same, you also get points. It doesn't make any sense. So for this, the easiest one to make is the versus mode, which means you just change the timer, and that's about it. You can obviously, the whole idea is to add objects into your track, and I'll be showing you how to add some objects. For this tutorial, we're going to make gates. Now, the same thing I'm going to do with gates can be done with coins, can be done with item boxes. You'll just have to add item boxes onto the track. Enemies, you'll have to add enemies onto the track. Bosses, you can add bosses onto the track. And one important thing to note is that you can go onto this site that I'll give you objects. You can also go to the object query by Weem and look for objects. It's kind of the same thing. I think I'll link them both in the description. These are all the objects that the game has, pretty much. So, for example, we want gate, so we look for gate, and that's not the right gate. I know that it's called the star gate. This is the gate used in competitions, and it's not used in any track. So the star gate. Oh, if you click on this link, it'll immediately bring you to that object query that I just said. So, the Stargate on subfile group, actually, there are no subfiles found. However, we do need subfiles for this one. So, for that, I've got a link which brings you to common OBJ, and here are pretty much the common objects for the competitions, but since this is a mission mode, we'll have to actually extract these objects from the mission SZS files. And Stargate, as you can see here, is in common obj 01.szs. So to get those gates out of there, also let me select gates for the mission. We'll get back to this later. So we know that we're going to be doing gates. We don't yet know what score we're going to get. We'll get back to this later. So we know we're going to do a gates mission. So we want to open up the common OBJ. So in files, if you extracted your MKWii files, this is going to be in files, race, competition, common OBJ, and there it is, common OBJ 01. Now we're going to be using a different program, which is SZS Explorer, which comes with C tools, made by Mr. B and Chatters, so link in the description. We'll be using that to open up the common OBJ 01, and pretty much our track as well later on. So we're going to extract the Stargate KCL and the Stargate BRAS by right-clicking, exporting to my desktop, Stargate, and same thing with Stargate BRAS. And the effect folder, we have the Stargate. We're going to actually, let me get the whole effect folder out of here. We're going to hit export and then to desktop, and we should have these files right here. And with that, we're going to import them into our custom track, or not custom track, I'm used to custom tracks, in our mission. So we had mission run 00.szs, which is currently still the standard Luigi circuit. So what we're going to do is right click, import files. Here's the two Stargate files. We'll open them, and they're in here. Let me save this. So then we go into the effects folder. If it's not there, I'm not sure if every custom track or every track has an effect folder. If there is no effect folder, right click, new folder, and call it effect with no capital letters. And then hit right click, import folder. We grab the effect folder from the desktop, and boom, Stargate's right in here. So we now imported the Stargate model, which is the gates that you'll be driving through in the track. You can do the same thing with coins. If it were coins, for example, you would export the coin files from the obj02, common object 02, which is the BRS coin, and the effects that come with it. So in this case, we did the Stargate for the gates mission. Then in our file, we export the course.kmp file, which is the course object data file. Not only object, but pretty much it's the course data. So if you can see, if you haven't made custom tracks or anything before, this will we're going to be using KMP Cloud, again, link in the description, to edit this file. So you can click on the view window and you can see the start position, enemy routes, item routes, checkpoints, pretty much everything. Mostly we're going to be working with the objects folder here. So since we are currently going to make a gates mission, right? We're going to be removing the item boxes because the item boxes are still going to be on the track. We don't really want item boxes. Again, we can add them back. You can say add item boxes with only which only allow mushrooms, for example. So we can actually, I think there should be item box. Let's look for item box, and I think there should be a file which explains exactly what item boxes do. There we go. We can click, for example, the item types. Here we go. We get to a page which explains exactly. You can read through this and it explains exactly what you can do. You can make item boxes have only bananas, only mushrooms, only triple mushrooms, only star. You can do that. But for now, we don't want item boxes. We're going to just delete this whole group of objects, and they're gone. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to see where things are right now. We also need to change the height of the objects later on. So for now, since we can't really see the track, we're going to be doing something else. We're going to be, let me go back to my desktop. We're going to open up SLS Modifier. SLS Modifier is kind of an outdated program, but it works for this thing we're going to do here. We're going to open up our where is it? Names, missions tutorial, mission run 00. Our Luigi circuit. We're going to open up the dot folder, the course model folder, the 3D models folder, and we're going to go into the course. We're going to zoom in using the zoom. You can scroll in this little box to zoom in, and here's our track. If it were a custom track, it'd be a custom track, but this is Luigi circuit. So you can see the list on the right side here. You can see these are all the different materials used in the track, and we're going to find the one that's mostly road, and this one is mostly road. As you can see, this is going to be used to, set the heights and positions. This is pretty much just a reference. It's going to be a reference for us to place the gates on, the objects on, and it's also going to work as a reference for the height calculation for the object. Since an object is a 3D object in space, and it needs an X, Y, and a Z coordinate. You can see that here. If we take any object, you can see an X, Y, and Z, and the Y coordinate is the height. If it's in the air or in the ground, we don't want that to be in the air, right? We don't want our gates to be somewhere flying. So we want the gates to be on the road, and that's what we need this for. So we're gonna hit File, Export. I'm gonna export this onto my desktop and say road.obj. And this should have it exported here. Now this is kind of a broken model. Since this program is kind of bad and old, we're going to be using a different program. Again, so many programs. We're going to be using Blender. Blender is a free 3D editing software. Click away from that beginning screen. Use AA. Actually, I'm going to turn on, since I do have this, I'm going to turn on the screencast so you can actually see what's going on. We're going to increase this a bit. If you don't know how Blender works, then you might want to look that up on the internet. But for now, I'm going to set cursor to center. I'm not sure if that changes anything, but you can use right click or middle mouse click actually to move the camera around. We're going to press AA or A until this everything is selected. Hit delete. All right, so now we have an empty place, right? We go File, Import, OBJ. And we go to our desktop and get that road.obj. And as you can see, there's nothing here. Now we want to scroll wheel and zoom all the way out. Nothing's there. Press the N tool, scroll until you find the clip section here, and add a few zeros to this number right here. at some point, oh, we didn't zoom out far enough. At some point, should have enough zeros to see the track, because as you can tell, I'll show you here. If there's not enough zeros, you won't see the track. That's because the track is gigantically big. All right, so use the scroll wheel and use shift right click to make the camera move around with your mouse, or shift middle click. I mean, you can't even see that in the. It's supposed to show up here in the bottom left. But use the middle mouse click to rotate, use middle mouse click and shift to pan the camera around, and scroll wheel to zoom. And use middle mouse click, yeah. So select the object with right click, press the tab button to go into edit mode. Now you can see what the model is made out of. And you can go onto the right menu. If this wasn't there, press the N tool or N button on your keyboard. Click this little thing next to normals. If you can't see it, click on mesh display. Click on this little icon here and make this number about, like, I don't know, 10,000. As you can see, these little blue lines that come out of the track are going down, and we want them to go up. So what we do is we press the A button to select everything. If everything is selected, if it's like this, then press A again to select everything. Go into the left bar. If it's not there, press T. Click shading UV and click flip direction. Now the UV direction, or not the UV, the normal direction has been changed. And this is because for whatever reason SS Explorer or SS Modifier exports it with the wrong normals. So there we go. Don't change anything else. Just hit tab to get out of edit mode. Hit file, export OBJ. Go to the desktop, we'll call it, we'll just leave it Untitled OBJ, I don't care. Disable include UVs, disable write materials, and click triangulate faces. Keep the scale how it is, keep everything else how it is, and hit export. There we go. So that's that done. We can close down Blender, we don't need to save it. So now what we can do is click on the view in KMP Cloud, import background OBJ, and we can find in our desktop, we can find the road. No, that's not the right one. In our desktop, we can find the untitled.obj, import it, voila, there it is. There's Luigi Circuit. It should line up with everything else that is here. So in the objects, we're going to go to properties, object to add. Now, if you were adding a coin, we were at this thing. If we were adding a coin, actually, you'd be adding coin, and in this case we are adding Stargate as an object. So if you're adding coin, you can press C. Oh, there it is, coin. But we're going to be using S for Stargate, and just press S until we're there. Stargate. Click add. Click on Stargate. Click view, and well, the point's over there. So we're going to drag it over. Nope, that's not the right point. Oh boy, I can't. That's great. Okay, so if this happens, don't worry. If you accidentally move the wrong object, since the blue one's the one we selected, reopen the KMP file. There we go. So instead, if that happens and the object comes over something else, the easiest thing to do is go somewhere here into position X, click Stargate, click properties, change this to like 1,000, go back to view. It's still somewhere inside, somewhere, add another 0, and it's suddenly free from everything else, so you can grab it. It's kind of annoying if you accidentally take other objects with you. It's not really what we want. Oh, the item boxes are back, so we once again right-click delete. So here we go, Stargate. And yeah, so this is the track. I don't know, we're just gonna keep it simple. The start line is over here. If you click start positions, you can see where the race starts. And we could kind of tell that was the starting line, but here we go. So this is going to be really easy. You can make your own missions, but you can hold Alt and left click to place new objects into the scene. I mean, this is not supposed to be hard or anything like that. How about I place one right here? However, that's going to cause some problems since we don't actually have that added. I'll show you a thing. Since this road, I know that this road is the same height as this, we're gonna put it right here for now. We're gonna move it back into the off-road in a moment. Actually, we don't have items on this track. Never mind. we don't have items, we don't have mushrooms in this track, so what you could do, again, make your own mission, place an item box right before you, an item box that gives you only mushrooms, and then you can make someone take the cut if you want to do that. So we're going to just place this one over here, and we're going to place the last one here. Press enter to finalize your placements, and then you can move them around. So I can place this one over here, over here. Make sure that at least they're on the ground and not off the ground. If it were right here, it's wrong, since it cannot calculate the height. So now we've placed them down, we can go into view, edit rotations, and rotate the arrows till they point in the right directions. That seems kind of easy. It is. You just kind of guess. Now this one's in a corner. We want that to be slightly angled, and this one can be right with the track, and then this one can be go up again. And I'm a guy who likes things to be perfect, so I make these exactly 180 degrees since I can. There we go. So there's our gates. I didn't change this one. Haha, this one needs to be exactly -90. There we go. So here we go. Here's our gates, right? So now what we want to do, we have the gates placed in the proper X, Y, and Z, or X and Z direction. We don't have the height yet. So right now the height is 0, which is wrong. This is what I mean with changing the height. So we have another program for that, MKWii. And this is the reason why we changed that road.obj into this untitled obj with Blender, because otherwise this method wouldn't work. So we select the untitled obj on our desktop, change scale to 1, and then we use Control Y. We click on the thing on the left beside the index, Control Y, Control Y, Control Y, Control Y. Yeah, that's why it's called MKWii, and it's Control Y. It's great. So now the heights and positions are set. If this does not work for you, then you will have to change your number format on Windows to United Kingdom. You can Google for that, Windows change number format. You need to change that to United Kingdom and restart your computer, because this program was written by someone who has that number format on their computer and doesn't work otherwise. So here we go, our heights are set. Now we can still do this right here, which is the scale on the X, Y, and Z. Since these star rings are kind of small, I like to scale them by 2 in every direction. So we're pretty much doubling the size of the ring, basically. If you want the rings to be off the ground, you can obviously add or change the Y values. If you want these to be in the air or something, you can change the Y values. You can also kind of guess the Y values. Just mess around with it if you want. So here we go. Now these are the important parts, the 2 settings here. So the setting is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc., etc. But important, do not start at 0. But the important thing is that once you hit 9, you're going to run into a problem. Let's go, for example, to the enemy routes, right? We check this. As you can see, is there a longer enemy route? Let's take the checkpoints, for example. There we go. So you can see the index goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and then suddenly A, B, C, D, E, F. So this is hexadecimal. After 9, it goes into A, B, C, D, E, F. So if you have more than 10 gates, then you're going to have to make the order, the settings also. Say this was number 9, then we'd have to go into A, B, C, D, E, F, and then 1, 1, or 1, 0, and then 1, 1. And then, for example, if you hit the point, if you hit 18, 19, you'd go for 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, and 1F, and then you get 2, 0. So it adds an extra 6 at the end of the 9. So you get 6 extra letters. So but for now we just want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Setting 2. This is the setting that makes the gates appear. Now you can take a look over here. If we say take the Stargate once again, you can see that the one is number ordered and the next one is trigger. The trigger pretty much means that it is the point at which the gate becomes visible, because when you're playing competitions, if you've noticed that the gates do not become visible until only a few before you hit them. So what we do with this is we keep these at 0, 0. The first two are 0, 0. Then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and etc. etc. So we just keep the first two at 0, and then we number them again in order. And that should be that. That should be this for the Stargate. If you have coins, if you want anything else, say item boxes, other objects, you pretty much do the same thing with the XYZ rotation, and maybe the object needs some other settings right here. So if you have other settings, you can see here which settings need to be set. So settings 1 and 2 are here. Say you take an item box, for example. Item box, it needs setting 1 is unknown, setting 2 is item type player, setting 3 is item type enemy, unknown, timing lottery, unknown. So the settings that you need to set are usually added within this list. Coins don't really need settings, do they? Oh, they do. Coin IDs. Some coins don't appear at the start of the battle, show up later, can be controlled by setting 3. We don't need that since we don't really need that. Maybe coin ID needs to be changed. Maybe you need to number the coins by different numbers. Just or just do setting 1 the same way. Name them differently, and this can be ignored if you set this to just appear, setting 3 to 0. So just look at the settings that need to be set for each and every single object that you need. So we have set the right settings, we have done the rotation X, Y, and Z. The only thing that's left now for our KMP to work is an MSPT. An MSPT, I'm not really sure what it stands for. I didn't look it up before this, but this is basically the point that you will be brought to after you finish the race. So after you finish the mission. So after you finish the mission, your character spawns at a different place. Now, this point, if you don't have it, your game will crash, or the mission will crash pretty much after you finish it. So we hit Alt, click, add a point, press enter. There we go. Now I have a point. Now, of course, that's not a proper point right here. What I'm going to do is go to start position, select the X, Y, and Z, hit Control C, and go to MSPT, hit paste. It should create a new one. Let's see, it is the top one. Select the bottom one, hit delete on your keyboard. There it is. And the rotation is 180. So we set that rotation to 180, and voila. So our spawning point is going to be the exact same as the starting point. This just needs to be there, otherwise your mission will crash after you finish it. And that's pretty much it for the KMP. Pretty much the hardest part is done. And this is basically where you make your mission, right? So you can add different objects to it. If you were, I don't know, if it's an item box mission, you place your item boxes. If it's a coin mission, you place your coin missions. If it's a boss mission, you may want to place a boss object down. I don't know. I don't really know how that works, but just place an object down, I guess. And we use Stargates instead of anything else. So again, you could have used coins or item boxes. That's that done. We're going to save this and close it. At this point, we're pretty much done. And we're going to go back into our mr00.sds, which I still have open. Right-click the course KMP, replace it with the one we have on our desktop, and save. Now it is pretty much done. Apart from the fact that we need to go back into our KMT where we started. It's been a long time. I don't even know how long. It's been almost 30 minutes at this point. So we already set our game mode to gates. The engine class can be selected. The character vehicle combination can be selected. For example, I don't know, King Boo in the spear. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Okay, the course. Now, this is basically the slot. I didn't add this one yet, did I? So basically, every track has a slot, and certain slots don't work properly with certain races. So there's special slots. Most tracks will run on all slots, with exception of slot 4.2, 6.1, and 6.2. Actually, some tracks only run at 3.1, 5.3, and 7. So you want to avoid 4.2, which is Moonview Highway. You want to avoid 6.1, which is Sherbet Land. You want to avoid 6.2, which is Shy Guy Beach. And you might want to avoid 3.1, Daisy Circuit, 5.3, Ghost Valley, and 7.1, which is Desert Hills. Now, you can check them here. You can check all the information about the slots here. I'd like to stick with anything that's not this. Usually you can ignore the. Usually you can take these as well, but there are some things that you want to look at if you want to place them over these slots. But since we have Luigi Circuit, we can just select Luigi Circuit. However, this also changes the music. So if for example, we want Luigi Circuit, but we want, for example, Rainbow Road music, I don't know, we want Rainbow Road music over Luigi Circuit. We can click the Crown Cup, Rainbow Road, and boom, we suddenly have Rainbow Road selected. It doesn't matter, we just have, Rainbow Road selected, and as long as it's not one of these, it should work. Let's see, Rainbow Road doesn't have anything, it does have a special unique KCL sound trigger, which means we may hear some special sound triggers if we race, but Luigi Circuit doesn't have a sound trigger. Sounds of cannons can be heard on this slot, whatever, but we don't care about this. We just care about the music that there is. So, we set the mission run file here. We called it 00, so we should call it 00. Oh, one thing that I forgot to look at is the amount of pretty much the amount of rings that we have. So since we have an amount of rings, this could be the points score system. So score is, I don't know, if you took the mode where it's coins, then this will be the amount of coins you'll have to select or collect. If you have the stargates like us, we're gonna have to select or set the exact amount of stargates you want to go through. If you have, I don't know, hitting CPUs, then this will be the amount of times you'll have to hit a CPU. In versus races, this one is ignored. So there are some modes that where the score is ignored and only time is what matters, but whatever. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 gates. It says 8, but we also have 0, 0. So this is 9 gates, right? We click on score, type 9, enter, or click away from it. There we go, 9. And this is the time. The seconds are kind of weird. You need to left click to select seconds and right click to go by 10. We'll make it a round number, 2 minutes. I don't think you need, we only need 1 minute. So we type in 1 minute for this mission, and at this point we just hit save. Save successful. And at this point we're almost done. We can close this off, we can close this off. There's only a few things left to do. We're almost done. So the first thing you want to do is change the drift mode, because in the missions you can choose which drift mode you can you can select. So there's the option to choose which drift mode. There's the option of forcing automatic, and there's the option of forcing manual. So let's open up our missions folder once again. Go into menu this time and open up menu single.szs and scroll all the way down to this parameter folder and right click on mission UI single.bin. Export this to the desktop, whatever, and there it is. So now we're using that program called MUIS modifier, which stands for mission UI single modifier. Oh yeah, this is Windows Defender. You can click more information and execute it anyway. Hey, because I'm pretty sure the creator of this doesn't actually want to make a tool to hack your computer or something. No, the thing is, he probably doesn't have like certain programs are signed when you're creating a program, but if you're a standalone person who creates programs, you can't really sign that properly, and Windows is like, hey, this is not a trusted program, but trust me, it's gonna be fine. So we're gonna open up in our desktop let's see, it is mission UI single.bin, and here we go. So we can select a level and a mission. So we're going to be selecting mission 1-1. The standard drift mode is 0, and so 0 means you can choose either automatic or manual drift mode. 1 is automatic, 2 is manual, I believe. So we're gonna keep it at 0 because we can choose whatever. And there's also BMG IDs, and you don't need to worry about those. Those are already set for you. All you need to care about is the drifting. I prefer, some missions you want to do only one of the two, but for for now, that's set. Actually, it depends. Oh, apparently some of them are already set. I think that might be Nintendo's thing because these haven't been touched. But yeah, just make sure you change the drift mode to whatever you want, and then you can save it, and then we can exit, and then go back here. Actually, I still have it open. Actually, open this one. I still have it open. There it is. Replace it back, save it, and that's done. Now, one thing left as well is the menu text. So since you're in the menu, if you're in the mission menu, you want to have the mission number, or maybe you want to give it a special number, but it doesn't. The thing is, you can change the information that appears in the mission thing. You can also change the text that says 1-1 or 1-2 or 1-3 in the menu, but you probably don't want to do that. So I created this menu dummy.bmg, which pretty much has everything set to be filled in by you, because SpyKid's version doesn't have that yet. Of course, he filled in his own, and I manually adjusted it so it is ready to be filled in. So we're gonna go to menu single E in that same folder. We're gonna go to message menu.bmg and replace it with that dummy I gave you. Link in the description. Now you can save it, or actually what you probably should do is double click on it, and then there's this whole menu thing that comes up. So I want to scroll down until we find something like this. So here's the title. Only a few characters show up actually, so it's not very great to edit these. I keep it. You can try changing them. Here's like the label for the level, and here is where you put your info. So since we made Luigi Circuit Simple Gates mission, I don't know, drive through all numbered gates on Luigi Circuit to win. And there it is. That's pretty much it. I mean, you can just change the mission. You can change the mission info for every mission. So I made sure that all of them are set so you can edit them. And yeah, you can edit these. I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't look that good in the menu. I prefer keeping them like this, but you can always edit. You can also edit like anything else in the game, by the way. This is like any menu text that you have here. Any text that appears in the menus can be changed here, so that's interesting. But yeah, all we care about is this section here with the missions. And yeah, if you have multiple missions, of course, you can just change that for every single mission. And that's about it. So we save it, and we save it, and that's done. Now we can pretty much play it, except for there's one thing. There's this folder called Revolution. If you have Revolution installed, code handler bin, you might already have it if you've ever used Revolution. Now there's a couple of these XML files. I'm gonna open the PAL one. Actually, I'm gonna open it with Notepad++. Open it with actually, you can probably also open it with let's see if we can open it with Notepad, standard Notepad. If you can edit that with that. Let's use standard Notepad because you guys probably don't have Notepad++. So here's standard Notepad. Here's that file. Now you don't need to care about most of this until you make more. The thing here is, if you make other missions right now, you want to probably copy paste this section right here, since this says this is pretty much like my stuff folder in CTGP. If you don't know what this says, is when the game, pretty much read it as this, okay? When the game disk tries to read this file, which is race mission run 00.szs, right? Then instead look into the SD card under this folder missions, and then look up this one. So pretty much once you copy this to your SD card, these two folders, you want to copy those to your SD card once you're done. So yeah, this file, and open the one that you need as well. So NTSCJU if you live in Europe, if you live in America, if you live in Japan. If you want to release this pack for some reason, you'll probably want to edit both of them, or all three of them. I think most of it is just that little letter that changes which game it's trying to load, but whatever. So if you have multiple missions or more missions than this, just copy paste one of these lines and change the numbers. I think that's pretty much it. Also, if you want to change, because you probably want to change this one. For example, we want to go into like custom missions, right? So if we change that folder to name custom missions, then we want to replace all of these with custom missions, since this is the path that it looks for in the SD card. There we go. Also, you actually want to change it for all of them, since it's trying to load up literally anything. Also, yeah, if you change that file name, you want to have to edit everything, not just this, also that. Everywhere it says mission, where it tries to load something from the there it is, from the SD card. There you go. Let's save this. Also, you probably want to change this name to like custom missions. This is what it appears in Revolution, so you can find your custom mission thing, and you can pretty much leave everything as it is. It also saves your game to SD cards, so you don't have to worry about your save file getting corrupted, since before launching the game, if you launch the game for the first time with custom missions, it copies your save file to your SD card, and afterwards it just loads it from that one if you play with missions, so your save file on your Wii doesn't get corrupted or anything. And this is the part that loads the codes to load the mission. And at this point, we are pretty much done. We are done, and you can copy, as I said before, you can copy these two folders over into your SD card, making sure that these files in the Revolution folder end up in the Revolution folder after installation. After installing Revolution, code handler .bin also has to be there, and yeah, change the one for your region. And that's pretty much it. I think we're gonna hop into the Wii, and I'll show you what we've done. Alright, here we are in the Wii menu. So if you have Revolution channel, you should be ready to go. So here we are in Revolution. If you have multiple XML files, make sure everything else is disabled apart from the custom missions, mission mode enabled, and let's launch the game. Once you enter the single player menu, there should be the missions button right here. And there it is, there's the mission menu. So, as you can see, there's level 1 through 8. I would not recommend playing any of the ones down here, because we haven't got them added to the XML file, so they'll probably crash. But we changed level 1-1. Oh, also the reason why I said not to change the numbers text, because it kind of glitches. There's only... the game doesn't draw all characters on screen. So it looks pretty weird, but we're gonna pick 1-1, and there should be a message: drive through all numbered gates on Luigi Circuit to win. There we go, and we can choose automatic or manual. Let's choose manual, and let's get this going. Here we go. There we go. We are King Boo on the spear, as we said, on Luigi Circuit. We should have Rainbow Road music. Yes, we do. And here are the gates. So as you can see, they appear on the minimap after you hit the previous, the 1-2 before it, and that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, there's one thing. I'll let the timer run out before I hit the last one here. I'll have the timer. I'll let the timer run out, and then we will. I'll do another playthrough of this, so we're gonna have to wait 30 seconds here. So if you enjoyed, then definitely leave a like if it helped you. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. There are more advanced missions that can be made, not using these programs, so you're gonna... I don't know how to do that yet. If I do find out how to do that, then there'll definitely be a more advanced mission mode tutorial somewhere in the future. Definitely let me know in the comments below what other tutorials you want me to see. And there we go, the timer is out, and yeah, the game kinda, it looks like it's soft locked, but you can press pause and restart. It's just because the mission mode isn't finished. It just doesn't do anything after the time runs out. So if the time runs out, just manually restart. But we're gonna finish it here, it should work, and yeah, I think that went pretty well. This tutorial was a pretty big tutorial, pretty long tutorial. I hope to redo the custom truck tutorial at some point, because it's pretty outdated at this point. But here we go. Got 2 more. And of course, if you have, coins or item boxes or anything else, it should work. Yeah, it should finish after I get this one. There we go. And it should put me back on that MSPT we placed down right in front of the finish line. There we go. yeah, this menu is kind of doesn't really work, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.